Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to Starsector. So last we left off, we were doing a little bit of survey, and I just want to go through my thought process about how to figure out where I want to settle. So if you go into the Intel tab, which is E, you're used to me seeing this tab here, which is Intel. This time we're going to go to planets. And in planets, what you can do is you can sort by hazard rating. The lower the hazard, the more inexpensive it will be to colonize. As you can see, the least hazardous planet in the entire known galaxy is two Luddic Church planets. But we want to sort out only the ones that are uninhabited, meaning colonizable, or unclaimed even. Because uninhabited means, if you look at Palaver, for instance, Palaver is in Samara. Samara is a hegemony system. So, for instance, Palaver here is very colonizable and has some good organics and decent farmland, but I couldn't claim it because it's in a hegemony system. If I go back to the planet list and go to unclaimed, these are all the planets that I've surveyed myself that no one has laid claim on them. So if we take a look, the top one here is in Zeta Mance. We definitely looked at this one because it had adequate farmland, but there's not enough planets here to make it worth it. The next one is in Fearsome Engine. We made note of that. The issue with Fearsome Engine is we have only one world that has poor farmland, and the other worlds here are kind of lackluster, and there's no volatiles, which means we'll never be able to produce gas. The next one is in Gamma Mance. I'm going to skip over Livueta. This has a very rich, abundant world, but the other two worlds with it are very lackluster and no gas once again. And instead of, there's also Merkheim. Again, wow, that is a really crappy world. I might not have even surveyed it. This has a very low hazard rating, but has no farmland. And Damar Star, adequate farmland. I guess I didn't really survey anything else here. What was wrong with this one? Show on map. Damar Star system. Where is that? Hold on, back to Intel. Oh, you know what? It might have just been too far. 47 light years away. Oh yeah, it's just too far. All right, so back to the planet list. Where I think I'm going to settle is Rama. The Rama star system here has really low hazard rating planets. It has multiple planets that have farmland, and it has a gas giant which allows me to manufacture fuel. So given all those factors, it is a clear winner. So what I'm going to first do is head down to Corvus. When you start to colonize, your new colony, your very delicate, fragile colony, is going to attract a lot of pirates. So you can't just be a trader where you trade goods and you run trade runs and then you jump into colonizing. Oh, there's a pod here with a wing commanding captain. Sure, I'll keep you. I'm gonna keep him because I have so many legions that it might be helpful. Also, it looks like my other guys can level up. Unfortunately for me, Vreedog is stuck getting missile spec. I don't particularly like that, but not that I can do anything about it. And we leveled up the rest of them in their respective skills. Another thing to consider is how stormy it is between... Okay, we hit a storm. How stormy it is between me and the core worlds, but I do believe, if I recall, the shot between Rama and the core wasn't too bad. It wasn't too stormy. So it should be pretty manageable. So when you colonize, you have to build your colony up steady and slow. If you build it up too quickly, invest too heavily, you attract not only pirates, but also the Luddites, the Luddic Path and Church, or specifically the Path, and you're also going to attract, depending on what you end up doing, you might attract other factions, and unless you're ready to go to war with a bunch of enemy factions, which likely you aren't at this point, you need to build up slow. So what I'm going to do here is grab, oops. Oh, I don't have room for all those people. Grab all of the goods that I've been storing here because I won't need to store them here anymore. Grab some ships. So I'm going to take Tragic Hysteria and my Legion. What is this ship? Little Hermes. I'm going to take all my ships out of here. If I let's take the crew. This is going to be very, very expensive. If I go over, I can repair at the dockyard. It's going to use up supplies to repair my broken ships. All right, I want to black market some stuff. Metals. Assault chain guns I don't want. Actually, all of these I don't want. I don't want to give the pirates any blueprints. So that's good for now. I'm going to buy crew, buy fuel, buy supplies on the black market. On the open market, I'm going to sell the blueprints. Because I don't want to give the pirates any ability to get stronger than they are. And then I'm going to repair at the dockyard. Let's do some refitting. So first things first, fleet. I'm obviously undercrewed dramatically here. So what I'm going to do is mothball my Legion. That's really broken. And I am going to put Bora into the Legion here. And call this Legion Talon. And I'm going to sell Talon. So let me do that right now. Fleet. Black market. Sell Talon. And then refit this Legion here. Call this Talon. What we're going to do is we have to put an augmented field drive so it moves around faster. But let's also decide extended shields so it can shield itself a little bit better. And it's a cruiser, or it's a carrier rather, so it doesn't really need dedicated targeting core, which we normally add. So instead, I will do maneuverability thrusters. And then the rest of these, let's set the weapons up too. We brought a whole bunch of weapons with us. So in these long-range missiles, I want Pylum rather than the swarm missiles. This has limited ammo. The Squall MLRS has a lot of ammo, but it still is limited. In these turrets, 2 needlers. In the center one, maybe something anti-armor. A mauler. In these side turrets, I'll do flak and flak. So that covers a lot of point defense. And then here, instead of point defense, I'm going to do anti-armor. Little mortars. And that will keep other fighters at bay. And then in the back here, I'll do point defense. All right, that looks good. Add some capacitors and vents. Is there any other mods that I want to add to this thing? I could add another docking mod here. So let's take a look at some of the ones. We could do efficiency overhaul, but I don't really want that. More cargo, no. I could increase the sensor strength, but that's not all that necessary. Survey equipment, it's not necessary either. I can increase its point defense AI, but that's pretty expensive. Let's do a nav relay, and that allows all the other ships in this fleet to travel a little bit faster. It's pretty useful. All right, over to the fleet. I want to sell on the black market the old Talon. All right, so let's sell this thing. The kite, I think we're good with now. We don't need it. This old Condor, I'm going to get rid of. Condors are not very strong. They get themselves blown up pretty regularly. This Legion here is mothballed. Okay. I'm going to temporarily mothball the Tragic Hysteria ship as well. No, actually, it has really high combat readiness. I don't want to do that. It would destroy its combat readiness. Civilian transport, I'm going to get rid of. This Mud Skipper. And on the open market, I will pay the premium price for some people to help captain my ships because I don't want my combat readiness to drop too badly because I'm under strength. Alright, and then I'm going to go over to Jingala here. Keeping in mind, of course, that I have some really dangerous goods on my ship here. I have a lot of weapons so that I can refit quickly, but the AI cores are pretty much illegal everywhere. I'm just... what are these? Vulcan cannons I can sell. These are regular... I'll keep the regular flags. If you're not hurting for money, you might as well keep extra weapons. It makes refitting your ships much easier. So let's buy some fuel and supplies on the closed market. When you colonize, you're going to need 1,000 crew, 200 supplies, and 100 heavy machinery in order to initiate a colony. So get that. Don't leave without it. All right. If you are curious about what's illegal, just go to factions here. The Hegemony has AI cores illegal. Everyone has AI cores illegal. Tritachyon only has AI cores illegal. Actually, Independent doesn't care about AI cores, but all of the formal government factions do. So what I'm going to do is head over to... I can allow the scan here because I have a smuggler mule that's pirate styled. This one here. The reason why this is special, I did say this before, it has a hull mod with shielded cargo holds, which means my most illegal stuff will automatically be stored in that mule. And as long as that mule is part of my fleet, the illegal stuff that I have with me, like recreational drugs or harvested organs or AI cores, are shielded from scans. Alright, so I'm over here to go to the Tritachyon world to turn over the AI cores. Some of the AI cores, I'm going to keep the Alpha core, but turning over the other ones. So I have to talk to the station commander. I take it to Tritachyon because they offer way more money. They have a 300% bounty value and a 50% rep gain. They give you the most money for your cores, so turn them over. And then let's hire some additional crew. Buy some more supplies and fuel. I pay a lot of money, but that's okay. At this point, I have the crew to man this Legion, but I'm going to keep it mothballed. It will slow me down. Oh, another thing I want to do is the refits for Tragic Hysteria. Oh, maybe I already did this. Oh yeah, I already did this. Yeah, the weapon groups look very orderly. I must have done that. What about the weapon groups here? I did not do that. So the Pylum will be on group 5. My Needlers on 1. The Heavy Mauler on 2. Flak and Vulcan cannons, or actually, Flak and Vulcan cannons on 4, because that's point defense. And then on 3 will be all these mortars. And all these mortars are anti-fighters. Alright, so that's the weapon groups there. AI doesn't really use weapon groups, mind you. But, it's still important to set up in case my own ship blows up or I want to transfer ships. I can transfer to their weapon group. This sort of much defective legion here, I'm going to essentially disarm entirely until the time that I can manufacture what it needs, essentially. Okay. So we're just about ready. We have a really healthily large fleet, and we're going to travel up to Rama now. Healthily large. Yeah, you can quote me on that. Not that it makes any sense. So our fleet's big enough that the average pirate fleet won't be able to mess with us. We have 2 battleships. Tragic Hysteria, you're going to be manned by Vredog. And then Max Power, you're going to be manning the Gaze into the Void. And then Arise Edwards, you'll be thrown into the Mothballed Legion for no reason. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you Glitch. Have you level up a little bit in case we do fight. Because that Legion's never going to see the light of day. So keep an eye on how difficult it is, how many storms I have to traverse on my way to Rama, because this is the commute. I've been talking about commute a lot, but so when you start to colonize planets, what ends up happening is initially your planets will be very attractive to pirates, because a brand new colony has not a lot of defenses, and pirates are going to be attracted to your systems. If there are some buildings that will also attract other factions. So if I set up a building to sort of exploit ruins, it would piss off the Luddites, because I'm basically looking for technology, and as a result, Luddic path attacks would then start occurring. So you got to be careful about what you set up on these new worlds, because the new worlds are very delicate, and until you have a really healthy economy from these worlds, you're really not going to be able to defend your holdings. So what you need to do is you need to initially invest very, very heavily in economy, and then eventually invest in military. So as I sort of suspected, there's lots of volatiles on that planet. And I just leveled up my ballistics, which gives me 15% additional weapon range, which is going to be really, really nice. So there's one other planet here that I have not yet set up or colonized. But my first colony it's probably going to be Luvueta, but let me double check. So I'm going to sort by distance. So Luvueta has the lowest hazard rating, and it has farmland. And the first place I want to colonize is going to be farmland. It should either be farmland or mining. And if it's mining, it should have, regular ores, ideally. But I like to start off with farmland so I can feed my colonists. So here we go. Establish a colony at Luvueta. If you look at the benefits, I have decent proximity to other colonies because I'm not too far out. And I'm not hostile with a lot of other factions, so there's not a lot of penalties. So we establish a colony. I'm going to call it Luvueta. I'm not going to rename these. My faction name, I haven't really thought about this. Oh boy. I'm going to call myself the Belters. I hope a bunch of you are Expanse fans. I love the Expanse. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. Yeah, so I'm going to be called the Belters. All right, let me rename this. I'm just going to be Belters. So the Belters is my pronoun or my prefix. The Belters are, not is. And my prefix will be BELT. There we go. So here's my colony. For the first 15 days, I'll be building a spaceport. And I am going to queue up one more industry after it, which will be farming. But here are all the industries that are available to you. So certain industries will attract enemies. I want to warn you. Certain industries like tech mining is available because I have ruins here. This will attract way more attention than you want. So don't do it. Really follow what I'm currently doing, or you will get yourself into hot water really quickly. It's free for you to do. If you want to save scum and mess around, feel free. I'm just saying, if I invest in heavy industry or tech mining or refining, or not so much refining, tech mining or heavy industry, I would find myself very rapidly attacked by a lot of enemies. And that is not a good situation to be in. Okay, so this is going to be my farmland. The other thing I want to do, because your character by default can manage 2 worlds, and I don't have any administrators. So without leveling up anything in the industry, you can manage 2 worlds from the start. So if I go to, where is it? Not cruel cargo. If I go over to manage the colony info, I am currently the administrator. I don't make for a very good one because I have no benefits, but I can manage 2 of them. Also, depending on your colony size, you eventually get a max of 4 industries. It's very hard to get up to 4. 2 or 3 is a little bit more reasonable. It's hard to get up to 4 industries because colonies grow slowly, very slowly. So the next colony I want to add here would be a mining colony. So one that has a low hazard rating, like Bezel here, with abundant regular ores and moderate rare ores. That might be my best shot, but let me take a look. We've got Constant Companion. There's no reason to colonize Constant Companion other than it's low gravity. We've got Tiz. Again, no reason to colonize here other than low gravity. Perdition here has plentiful volatiles, which is mining for gas, but this will come later. Then there's Yig. Yig does not have a lot of good ores, but Yig would be a good 3rd planet because of its farmland when I want to make more food. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious I'm headed to Bezel. So I'm going to lay in a course for Bezel here. I just love that I'm Belters. I don't need my transponder beacon on here because I live here. I'm going to establish a colony here as well. I'm going to call it Bezel. And the first industry I'm going to add here is mining. So now, these colonies are going to be under construction for a while. I can also lay in courses for the stable locations here. I might be able to benefit my system here by investing. So I can set up a makeshift sensor array, comm relay, or nav buoy. So let's see, what is there already? There is a comm relay already here. So let's do a makeshift sensor array. And for that, I'm going to need transplutonics and metals, which I do not have. And nav buoy would require much the same. So ideally, I want to get transplutonics and metals for the addition. But what I'm going to do is lay in a course for Libueta and drop off my mothballed ship so I'm not stuck at 16 speed because of the ship. So manage colony, go to fleet, leave my legion. My crew is still under strength here because I have colonized 2 worlds and as a result, I don't have a lot of population. So what I'm going to do, instead of having my ships go to really low combat readiness, I'm going to drop off my big ships. And I am going to make a quick run to repopulate my my crew. I'm going to buy some more crewmen. But I also should land a course for this comm relay. This comm relay gives stability, which is very important. I would say that's the most important. So I'm going to claim it and bring it online. I'll also install a comm sniffer. Not that I really need to, because it's mine. And this adds stability. So if I take a look at my worlds here, Livueta and Bezel are going to be a little bit more stable as a result. Which is a nice benefit. I still need to clear out all the remnants here as well. But there was so low percentage of remnants that it really wasn't that much of a problem. Well, I am very excited about having a colony. So this is going to be my normal commute. So we should keep an eye on how many storms and storm systems. I did sort of make a mental note that Rama didn't have such a terrible commute. So the spaceports at Livueta just finished, and now farming is going to start. And the same just happened for Bezel. So I'm down here to hire some more people so that I can field my ships without them being massively underpopulated or whatever. Let's black market some people and supplies. I'm actually going to buy some food initially as well. And I'm going to buy some recreational drugs as well. This is for the... No, forget that. I'm not going to smuggle that around. Alright, so we've got... We have met our capacity for how many people that we can have. So I'm going to look to buying a ship that allows me to have more people. Civilian transport. So I'm going to buy this Nebula. Actually, I'm going to buy 2 Nebulas. Crazy, right? Alright, so let's refit them. The Nebulas are... Let's repair them up to snuff. They move at 8. They need to move at 9 for me to go faster. So let's go ahead and refit them with military subsystems. Militarized subsystems. What else do we want to add to them? Additional berthing, so they can store more people. And... let's do that on both. Melee subsystems. And berthing. And I'm going to add nav relays in them both as well. That way, if they ever get caught out, they do move a little bit faster. And then the rest, I'm just going to put some capacitors. Leaving them weaponless. Alright, for crew and cargo, that means that I can add a lot more crew. But I don't want to... Oh, and some fuel. I don't want to pay full price for it. So what I'm going to do is jump to some additional colonies here and buy my crew on the black market. So I'm eager to get back to my world. I also need to be on the lookout for metals and transplutonics. Because I want to invest. Yeah, you can keep scanning me, I don't care. So here's some more crew. That world didn't have any transplutonics on it. This rocky ice world might, though. Oddly enough, no, they don't. Alright, so I'm just about crewed up. I'm going to spend a little bit on the open market hiring the last few that I need. I should also just drop all this stuff off at my colony. There's no real need for me to haul that around. Let me try to find a place that sells me metals and transplutonics. I could also just search for it. That's it. Oh, hello. A pirate wants to tangle. Sure. I don't have a lot of ships to tangle with, but I don't need a lot of ships. We punch above our weight. The fact that I have these, the captains that I've like leveled up carefully, means that we don't really need a lot of ships to defeat pirates. Which one of you are going to fight me first? One of these drone tenders has a bunch of fighters. Fighters are probably most annoying for my ship because I don't have a lot of fast-firing anti-fighter weapons unless they get real close, and my point defense deals with them. So let's kill this drone tender real quick. Get them out of the way. As you can see, when they get real close, my point defense will start to harass them. Alright, I could definitely do some damage to their other ships. This mule's like, oh hi. Guess you destroyed those small ones. Hot knife on butter. Now my little Sunder wouldn't really be able to take on tons and tons of cruiser-sized ships, but destroyers, no problem. Oops, should have had my shields up for that. Get rid of that mule. Get rid of the drone tender. Little shepherd here. Alright, I'm just going to claim victory. I don't want to chase them down. It's kind of boring. Let them go. I don't want to recover that mule, so... pick through the wreckage. That did give us a Hellbore cannon. That's not bad. And some metals. So I still need the transplutonics, but actually I want to pick through their wreckage. Where'd it go? Nah, whatever. Let's get moving. I'm over fuel capacity. That's not good. We're using extra supplies just to carry the fuel around. So let's burn some of that fuel. There, now we're at normal capacity. Alright, so monthly expenses, as you can see, have gone down. It's because even now, in its infancy, my, sure, I'll trade on the open market. My worlds are turning a profit, which actually is kind of unbelievable to me. Or no, you know what it is? It's that I have most of my big ships stashed. So here is a... Oh, I don't need that many transplutonics. Here's some transplutonics. And metals. I need 95. Nice. I could have done that on the black market, but whatever. What else? Some supplies. Alright. Heading back up to Rama, my home now. Weird to think about that I have a new home. Sure, you could scan me. I bought all that on the open market, I think. So if I check my command, which is the D, as you can see, my colonies are already, yes, they're already actually turning a profit. Because of the really low hazard rating, that's really cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Now, I'm the administrator of both of these, meaning that, ooh, actually, before I leave, let me see if I can hire any better administrators. I don't have any administration skills. I just don't like to level most of those administration skills. I will be planning on getting some of them, but not a lot of them. But what I want is to find... So here's a mercenary officer who's a wing commander. I want to hire some administrators to run administration for my planets if possible, but I just need to find them. A lot of people work there. None of them are hireable. Let's check the independent world. I don't necessarily need them immediately, but if I want to add another planet in, my third planet won't have an administrator, which is going to be a problem. Plus, if I could find a capable administrator, it would be possible to install them and have them actually benefit. That's the idea. Oh, here's just another mercenary. Missile spec mercenary. Nope. Alright. Well, seems to me like I'm not going to get an administrator on this run, so let me get out to Rama and pick up my big ships. Oh, so there's a pirate raid right now in Hybersil. So these pirate raids, I'm going to start to see that my my colonies are going to get raided. They're going to be easy targets for pirate raids. Not easy, because I'm going to fight the pirates, but... Oh no, a new storm popped up. Oh, and my main ship got capped. Storms will... The clouds are static, but the storms will evolve and devolve. Oh, here's a mule. With some luxury goods. Nope. Another storm just clipped me. Alright, here we are. My worlds are mostly around perdition. So here's Levuetta. I want to take Talon and Tragic. Take the crew I left here, so I'm not understaffed. Store my civilian ships, because I no longer need them. My people are going to be working on Talon and Tragic. Let's reorder them a little bit. Put my tankers and salvage ships at the end. Alright, Talon here. Well, you guys can level up. So, Arise. We're going to lean into the fact that you'd like to be carrier ship. Dog, let's put you back. And Bora. And yes, it's a little weird that I have such a small ship compared to my other captains, but I am okay with this. I don't mind. I like sort of being maneuverable and small. Alright, so here's my fleet. For crew, for storage here. So I'm going to put into storage all of this stuff. The Alpha Core eventually can be used as a governor, but if I installed that as a governor right now, and they'd be a perfect governor. They have basically... The Alpha Cores essentially have colony... They have Industrial Planning 3, they have all of the colony administration skills maxed out, but installing one, because they're very, very illegal everywhere, pisses off everybody. Very, very, very much. Very, very, very much. So don't don't put an alpha core as a governor until you're ready to deal with the fallout and the consequences of it. Alright, so we already had a comm relay. So I'm going to make a sensor array. And that increases my sensor range here in this system. And this is just a little makeshift one. And then we'll install a nav beacon. Now, the nav beacon is not going to be all that useful for me. I'm already maxed out speed. But the nav buoy here for the ships that get manufactured, for the ships that end up manufactured here to defend this system, will move faster, which is very cool. There's also some surveys to do. So I never surveyed this little world, and it's not great. And I never surveyed Tiz up there either. Alright, let's head up to Tiz. So even without my my burn, even without the sustain burn, I move at 12, which is pretty fast for non-sustain. And sparse. Okay. Sort of as I suspected, not all that high quality. So there might be some treasures or hidden things around that I need to discover. But I really do love how Bezel, Livueta, and my fuel world of Perdition are all going to be clustered to one another. I guess Constant Companion I didn't survey either. Let me go over and do that. Oh, some decent ores. Alright, so if I go to the command menu, here's the 2 planets. We are almost done building the farm, and that will be really, really good. Oh, and as you can see, there's some Persian League traders that are showing up already. And they're delivering food. Now, I didn't really have... Okay, so farming is done at Livueta. I'm just going to kill off the teeny little remnant ships that are inhabiting this system. These teeny little remnant ships are not likely to ever be able to contend with a trade caravan or anything like that. Like, it's not like the trade caravans are at risk. But it's more just like, I don't want these annoying ships hanging around my home system. This is my home. I should have had... I try not to deploy too many ships because there is a deployment cost and a combat readiness cost. But this stupid little ship just keeps teleporting around. I'm gonna wallop you so hard when I catch you. And he's overloaded, and I win. Okay, done. Claim victory. The remnants are now more hostile with me. Ooh, no. Shaking in my booties. Alright, so that's gone. Livueta. So Livueta just finished farming. So if you look at the right here, you can see right now what their supply and demand are. So this farm, for instance, is supplying the food, and this can supply food for the whole sector, which is kind of nice. After you have the first industry built and the spaceport built, the next thing you probably want to build is the orbital and patrol HQ or orbital station. So an orbital station here protects it, And that is very, very, very necessary. It's also very, very expensive. So I'm only going to be able to build one orbital station, and I'm going to build a high-tech orbital station over Livueta, which is my farm world. For me to afford another orbital station, I'm going to need to get more money. So that probably means completing bounties or contracts. That noise signifies that in 37 days, a pirate raid is coming to Rama to target me. So here's my little orbital station. It's currently in production, so it's certainly not going to be able to defend much. Now, one of the cool things is, comm sniffer. Okay, that's something different. These two planets that I'm starting off on are so close to one another that their stations can sort of defend one another in a way. And that's going to be kind of nice. So in managing the colonies, as you can see, the colonies are generating crew and food that I can take, but at cost. It's not free, but that's something. If I really needed money, I could sell my my core here to make some quick cash, but I'd prefer not to. So what I'm going to do instead is, well, I'm actually just about out of time. So what I'm doing instead is nothing. Gonna have to pick this up next episode. So thank you all for watching. I'm very, very happy that I managed to colonize when I said I would. I know I'm an episode or two late. If you are a patron of mine and you would like a pilot or a ship named after you, just reach out to me on Discord. If you are not a patron and would like that honor of having something named after you, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/Rhodomont or Rhodomont.com for the details. Thank you all for watching. I hope you tune in next time. Adios.